Em seu percurso na tentativa de melhorar o futebol brasileiro e fortalecer o Botafogo, Textor encontrou diversos obstáculos. Um deles foi ver críticas de adversários sobre a necessidade de um fair play financeiro, isso tudo após verem o sucesso do Glorioso, agora campeão brasileiro e da Libertadores. Em entrevista à CNN, o empresário norte-americano defendeu os investimentos que foram feitos no clube e deixou claro que o alvinegro está totalmente dentro das regras que existem na Europa, por exemplo.
Vou falar de um outro assunto polêmico, fair play financeiro. Depois que o Botafogo começou a ganhar, muito começou a se falar do fair play financeiro. Você entende que isso é justo? Porque muitos times que ganhavam não falavam de fair play financeiro. Agora que o Botafogo está ganhando, começaram a falar desse fair play financeiro. Como é que você analisa essa situação? Isso é importante para o futebol brasileiro? Não é? Está havendo algum tipo de exagero pelo fato do Botafogo ter se organizado e estar vencendo? De uma maneira geral, como é que você avalia essa questão do fair play financeiro que passou a ser muito comentada após o crescimento do Botafogo?
Obviously, we think it's funny. I mean, we're enjoying the conversation. I'm not too worried about it because if you're going to talk about financial fair play, you should really talk about it accurately. We inherited a club that in 2021 did about $21 million in revenue. We bought it in March of 2022. That year, we did about 30 million US in revenue. In 2024, because we're in December, the year's almost up, we're going to do about 100 million US dollars in revenue. So we've increased revenue by 5 times, which means that our salary level is about 45% of our revenue. Now, in Europe, financial fair play, they want you to spend 75% or less of your revenue. Well, at 45%, we're well below the thresholds of affordability. So they can't talk about financial fair play with us. In terms of buying these players, the reason they're saying this is because we're setting records for nobody's ever paid as much as somebody did for Thiago Almada or Luis Enrique. Well, that's true, but that's only because we're reversing the direction of player migration. Brazil has always been sending its best players away. We see big numbers when Endrick sells or when, João Gomes sells. We very rarely see a club buying the rights to a player based on their global value, what they would be worth in Europe, and saying, come back and play in Brazil. Well, we spent 25 million US dollars on Thiago Almada. That's not even a large amount by European standards. We spent 20 million, a bit less on Luis Enrique. That's not a large amount in Europe. So are they upset that we value Brazil so much that Brazilian fans deserve to see the best athletes in the world getting on a plane and flying back to South America? I'm paying a small amount of money to buy these young, talented athletes. I know if I pay 20 million for Luis Enrique, I bring him back to Brazil, he gets on the national team, he might be worth 30 or 40. So that's good financial management. That's not violation of financial fair play. Why do Brazilians think that a team should not acquire a top athlete at a European price and bring them back to Brazil to play for Brazilians? That's nonsense. So what are we all saying to each other? That we should have the low budget here and the high budget gets to be for the enjoyment of the people in Europe? I think we should enjoy football here. So financial fair play, we're well within the rules. And when the big clubs start getting beat by the small clubs, well, then they say, well, let's change the rules. Well, that's what I said before. Get used to it. We're the glorious, we're the most traditional, we're here to stay.
Compartilhe sua opinião nos comentários. E se você gostou do nosso conteúdo, não se esqueça de deixar seu like, se inscrever no canal e ativar o sininho para não perder nenhuma novidade sobre o Glorioso.